Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. Today I will start explaining Unit 5. Today, Lesson 1, Unit 5, Part 1. This lesson is central angles and measuring arcs. What is the difference between central angle and inscribed angle? Central angle, it is the angle whose vertex is the center of the circle and the two sides of this angle are two radii in the circle. But inscribed angle, it's an angle whose vertex lies on the circle and its two sides are two chords of the circle. Again, central angle, its vertex is the center and the two sides are two radii. But inscribed angle, the vertex lies on the circle and the two sides of this angle two chords of the circle. Notice that angle AMB is called central angle. Angle AMB is called central angle, but angle ACB is called inscribed angle. Arc AB is called minor arc. Where is arc AB? Let's see. The arc. Arc means part of the circumference. Curve. This curve. Arc AB is called minor arc. And also I have another arc AB. This arc, the greatest one, the longest arc. This arc, I can set measure arc AB, that means the longest arc AB, or arc ACB. Again, if I want to talk about the longest arc AB, this arc, the longest one, so I can say arc ACB using three letters, or measure arc AB means the greater arc AB. Arc ACB is called measure arc AB or arc ACB. Now arc AC and CB are called two adjacent arcs. Here AB and BC, two adjacent arcs, and also here AC and CB, two adjacent, or CB and BA, two adjacent arcs. Okay. Now drill number 1. In the opposite figure, measure angle AMC equals 60, measure angle AMG equals 40. AB is the diameter of the circle. Find the measure of arc. This is called measure arc AD. Where is arc AD? Here. This arc AD. If I want to find the measure of arc AD, that means I will find the central angle which drawn on this arc. Again, measure arc AD equals the measure of central angle which drawn on this arc. So the measure arc AD equals 40 degrees. What about measure arc AC? Let's see. Here I have arc AC and I want to find the measure arc AC. Measure arc AC equals the central angle which is drawn on this arc. So measure arc AC equals 60 degrees. Now Measure arc CAB. Again, measure arc CAB. CAB. This arc consists of two arcs. That means measure arc CAD equals measure arc CA and plus arc AD. That means 60 plus 40 equals 100. Okay, plus measure arc CAD equals measure arc CA plus measure arc AD. That means equals 60 plus 40 equals 100 degrees. Number 3, measure arc BC equals measure arc ACB minus measure arc, again measure arc CB, this arc, measure arc, that means I want to find the measure of this angle, okay, central angle which is drawn on BC, equals measure arc ACB minus measure arc AC. Again, measure arc CB equals measure arc ACB, the half circle, minus measure arc AC. So, equals 180 minus 60. Why 180? Because the measure of half circle equals 180 degrees. What about the circle? The measure of the circle. The measure of the circle equals 360. Number 4, measure arc DCB. This part start from D, turn to reach point B. Okay, equals measure of the circle, the total circle, minus this arc minus measure arc BD. Again, measure arc DCB equals the measure of the circle minus measure arc BD. So 360 minus 140. Why 360? Because the measure of the circle 360 minus 140. Where is the 140? Let's see. The measure of arc 140 is the measure of arc BD. Why? Because this angle equals 40 degrees, angle AMD. So measure angle BMD equals 180 minus 40. Therefore, the central angle BMD equals 140. So the measure of arc DCB equals 360 minus 140. The answer will be 220 degrees. Drill number 2. In the opposite figure, AB is the diameter of circle M. Study the figure, then complete. Now, I help you to find the value of x, number 1. Then, I will ask you to stop the video to solve the problems, then check your answer. Now, how to find the value of x? If we look at the figure, we'll find sum of central angles with measure AMC equal to x, measure angle AMD equals 4x, and measure angle GMB equals 3x plus 5. And he asked me to find the value of x to find the measure of each angle. Now, how to find the value of x? Look at the diameter AB. The diameter here, divide the circle into two equals into 2 equals halves. So the measure of arc AGB equals 360 divided by 2 equals 180. Again, the measure of arc AGB equals 180. That means 4x plus 3x plus 5 equals 180. Solve the equation 4x plus 3x plus 5 equals 180 to find the value of x. The value of x here equals 25. Now stop the video, solve the problems, then check your answer. Now the answers are drill number 3. AB is the diameter of circle M and measure angle CMD equals 70, and the ratio between measure arc AC and measure arc DB equals 5 to 6. Again, the ratio between measure arc AC to DB, AC, measure arc AC, this arc to BD equals 5 to 6. That means AC smaller than BD. Now find measure arc ACD. Where arc ACD? ACD. Arc ACD here consists of two arcs, AC and CD. And the measure arc CD equals 70, equals the central angle which is subtend to the arc CD. So if I can find the measure arc AC, then add measure arc AC to CD, so I can find the measure arc ACD. How to find the measure arc AC? Now from the ratio. Okay. Now let the smaller arc is 5x and the greater arc is 6x. So 5x plus 6x equals 180, the half circle, minus 70. So 11x equals 110. Let's see the steps. Since measure arc AC to measure arc BD equals 5 to 6, therefore let the smaller arc be 5x and the greater arc be 6x. So 5x plus 6x equals 110. 11x equals 110, then x equals 10. Therefore, the smaller arc AC equals 50 and measure arc DB equals 60. So now I can find the measure arc ACD. 50 plus 70 equals 120. Arc length. What's the difference between the length of arc or the measure of arc? Measure of arc, as we studied before, is the measure of central angle drawn on this arc. That means the measure of arc part of 360, part of the measure of the circle. But what about the length of arc? Length arc, that means I want to find how many centimeters, how many meters, okay? So the length of arc part of the circumference. Again, measure of arc part of 360 and length of arc part of circumference of the circle. So arc is a part of circle's circumference proportional to with its measure. That means measure of arc over 360 equals length of arc over the circumference of a circle. Again, there is a relation between the length of arc and the measure of arc. Measure of arc over 360, measure part of 360, part of the measure of the circle, equals length of arc over the circumference of the circle. Length over the circumference, part of the circumference. Again, measure of arc, part of 360, part of the measure of the circle. So, measure arc over 360 equals length arc over the circumference of the circle. So, to find the arc length, I will do cross multiplication. The length equals measure of arc times measure of arc over 360 times the circumference. Again, to find the length of arc, we multiply measure of arc over 360 by the circumference. Drill number 3. In the opposite figure, here I have circle M and I have central angle with measure 108. That means measure of arc AB equals 108 degrees. M is a circle with radius length 5 cm and measure arc AB equals 108 degrees. Find the length of AB, arc AB, where pi equals 3.14. Now, I said in the rule to find the arc length, so I will multiply the measure of arc over 360 times the circumference. Let's see. Now, the measure of arc AB equals 108 over 360 times the circumference of the circle. Circumference 2 pi r. 2 times 3.14 times 5. The answer will be 9.42 centimeter. Drill number 4. In the opposite figure, two concentric circles. The radius or length of minor circle means the smaller circle is 7, and the radius length of major circle means greater circle is 14 centimeter, where pi equals 22 over 7. Complete in minor circle. He asked me to complete by using the smaller circle. Okay, now stop the video, solve the problem, then check your answer. I want to find the measure of arc AB, the length of AB, and the length of arc CD, and he asked me if arc AB and arc CD are congruent or not congruent. Now, let's see the answers. Now, thank you for watching. See you later in a new lesson. Thank you and goodbye.